when you're just getting started, it might be easier to focus on an activity-based service, which could be as simple as So hey everybody, this is Nick, and I'm here with Devin. And Devin is actually somebody I met quite recently who is learning to build his digital agency. So he's at the early stages of what he's doing. He's been coming by the office over the last couple of days and just been hanging out. We've been talking back and forth, questions, Q&A, just sharing information with what's been going on with my business. And he's had some really, really good questions. So I figured, hey, why don't we just keep the same dialogue going? Why don't we just turn the camera on? Because I thought that, these questions from where I'm at right now, like I don't really think about these types of things. And if I can get that information and give it to you and Devin as well, then that's a win-win, right? So
yeah, basically, my name's Devin. I met Nick at CrossFit Gym. Pretty much I found out what he did and I was like, oh man, that's cool. I need to get to know this guy a little bit more, get a little bit more information on what it is that he knows, and also just pretty much provide him as much value as I can, the little bit that I know. Like he said, I'm in the beginning stages of starting my agency. I'll leave the name out, but I have a business partner and, we're kind of struggling as into how to make a certain amount of money, by the end of the year. We plan to make $100,000 by the end of the year. We have a couple courses that we're taking. I bought in some courses from Offline Sharks as well, and it's got some good information in there. I don't remember the gentleman.
So how many clients do you have now?
So I have 0 clients now.
Okay, so you got 0 clients.
Yeah.
That's fine though. That's good. Actually, that's a lot more people can relate to having no clients than having already hit 6 figures. Yeah, that's just a good place to start. Yeah, I think that's solid backstory. I mean, people don't really need to know much more than that. You're working on building a business, you got this idea, you came across good information, and you have more questions.
Honestly, I have 0 clients, but I have the dream, the passion, and the drive to do it. That's what I'm banking off of. I know that if I myself and my business partner, we just buckle down and we go full force into this, we'll get the clients that we need. We'll get the resources that we need and the people that we need to help us out along the way. You guys, I have 0 clients. I have a website and I got...
Did you build it?
No, I paid someone to build it, but $900 bucks.
$900?
Yeah, $900. I actually have had one client before. It was stem cell patches, and I charged them $1,000 per month, not $750 for me personally to make off of it. And I sat there and I did all the ads and stuff, and I learned from that client that 1 month is not enough time to provide value for someone, because you got to do all the testing, you got to set up the ads and stuff like that. That's what I learned. At least from my experience, I wasn't able to provide value within 1 month.
That's a good point though. So I talked to a prospect today who is a life coach or a business coach, I guess. And she's a long time business coach. She's got probably 20, 30 years of doing it. We talked about, marketing, what we could do for her, building a website, running ads, those types of things. But it came up the same thing that you're talking about. So a lot of people that are starting agencies, they give people contracts. They do like a 6-month minimum or a 1-year minimum or those types of things. There are a lot of ways to skin it, really. Yeah. But one thing that you don't really want to do is do some ongoing service for 1 month, like you said, because you're absolutely right. Like the initial month, most times is really just the setup. So you're going to do a lot of the labor in that first month, depending on what you're doing. If it's running ads, building the page, building the landing page, writing the copy, connecting any automations or whatever you're doing, and setting up the ads and the creatives and all that. Did you charge a setup fee for that guy?
No, honestly, I went to a real estate conference out here. I forgot which hotel it was at, but it was the Dean Graziosi one.
Oh yeah, you went to that.
Yeah,
I saw that. Yeah.
I went there. It was on Instagram. Me and my buddy went, and
he wasn't there.
No, he wasn't there. It was a big old sales pitch about pyramids. I don't know what it was. I don't know what it is.
MLMs. It was an MLM.
Yeah.
Probably, right?
Multi-level marketing. Yeah. It was something like you had to invest this much and they'll give you this, and you got to go to this conference and you got to pay this much when you get there. And I was interested. Come on now, you hear get rich quick scheme and you wanna get rich.
Yeah.
And,
well.
But that in reality, we know that that's not how it is. Pretty much like for that client, I just charged him $1,000, and I realized if you guys are ever wanting to charge someone $1,000, just don't do it. It's too cheap. It's too cheap in my opinion, like for Facebook advertising, and just using $250 for an ad budget. I don't recommend that. I don't know if Nick disagrees, but
$250, no, that's just for very ads. Minimum, you need to have a $500 in ad spend. At the very minimum, that's like we won't touch anything for less than $500. In ad spend, we will charge $500 to manage that ad spend. And then, depending on the campaign, a $250 to $500 management setup fee. A setup
Just
fee.
to set up
Just to set it up.
for the ads that
Yep.
you're setting up, or
Yep.
for their whole page and all that.
If we're gonna build a landing page, it might be a little more, but yeah, just to get kind of set up, $250. And then if they're doing a landing page, depends. Sometimes we'll do more. Depends how committed they are. I
How
probably.
interested.
Yeah, how interested. I probably need to do a better job of because I know a lot of people out there, they template everything, right? They niche down and they find one niche, which I think is a good idea, but it's a little different here in Maui, in my opinion, because we only have so many roofers.
Yeah.
We only have so many accountants. So if we were to go after, recently, I niched down and I went after restaurants. Well, it took me 1 month to get and prospect all of the restaurants. So then what?
You move on.
Then you have to, exactly. You have to create a new template to go after a new industry. So it's weird. You can niche down here, but pretty quickly you will exhaust all of your leads. You know what I mean?
So did you go to the other islands either? I mean, because you're an online business, so can you go to the other island? And also another thing that I have a question on is, let's say a millionaire owns a house out here, right? And they want their roof done. How do you target them? You know what I mean? How do you target them in the ads if they live somewhere else? You know what I mean? Is your main goal local, or is it national?
In my local agency, I'd say 90% of my clients are targeting people that are here. And that's probably a bigger number, too big a number. Maybe more like 70%. That includes tourists that are already here. There are a lot. It depends what you're doing. How do you target that person, that demographic? Depends what you're doing. In Facebook, there are a lot of ways where you can target people by income levels, location, interests, things like that, right?
Stuff.
That's what makes Facebook advertising so great, is they just have all that data on everybody. They're not surprised, right? They're spying on everybody.
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 It's crazy, yeah.
So they know all of your secrets. Every time you like something on their platform, all that stuff, it's just they have a spreadsheet of your name somewhere, and they're just collecting data on you. So when it comes time to show ads to a specific market, they go to the spreadsheet, and if you qualify, you're on the list. So when it comes to the real estate, somebody getting a roof on their home, you might want to create some sort of an audience in your advertising to go after a specific income class, demographic, and maybe location. For us, it'd be Wailea. You know what I mean?
Because they got the money over there.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, so one question that I've been having, because I know real estate agents make a lot of money, right? My problem is, how do you go about asking for $8,000 to advertise for a real estate agent? How do you go about asking for that ridiculous amount of money? Because for me, I'm not comfortable asking, hey, I need $8,000, and I don't really know what I'm doing, but hey, I want $8,000 for 3 months to help you guys out and actually put my feet to the into the pavement.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I was on our Facebook Live earlier today just talking about this very thing. So it's a really good question, and this is exactly what I'm talking about, where I think Devin's got great questions. So yeah, I do want to backtrack to your last question though real quick about, since we found all the restaurants here and we started talking to them all, we did go bigger. So we started going recently the entire state, all the business over the entire state. So not just Maui, the whole state. And we've done our research. There are 153,000 businesses in the state of Hawaii. Yeah. So that list is a little bigger, right?
Yeah. How many did you have in Maui?
I think it was 40,000. Which is crazy. A lot of it is on. A lot of it is on.
Over here.
No, a lot of it is on in Honolulu.
Okay.
They got a million people there. They have a million people on that tiny little island. So that's the majority of the commerce is there. But anyway, back to your question about it really comes down to a lack of confidence, because you've never sold something at that price point. You've never fulfilled that service at that price point, right? When I was first selling my first websites, anything really, I didn't have any confidence in myself to deliver that service. One of the things that we were talking about today is, when you're new, it might be better for you to sell a service that is activity-based rather than results-based. I'll give you an example of an activity-based service in contrast to a results service. So a results-based service is like search engine optimization, right? You pay me $1,000 and now I'm on the hook to get you up the rankings on Google search, right? This gimbal tripod setup that we have going is not very good, so we've had to make several jump cuts into our footage. But so what were we talking about? Oh, we were talking about activity services versus results-based services. So the search engine optimization is an example, right? That is a results-based service where if I hire you to rank me to the top of Google and you don't rank me, then I'm probably not going to pay you anymore, right? And you're on the hook. So I think just knowing those things that you have to deliver on those results, it really affects you when you are going for the sale.
Okay.
So when you're just getting started, it might be easier to focus on an activity-based service, which could be as simple as creating, X amount of social media posts to a social media page. That was actually my first recurring gig that I ever did, was posting regularly to a few restaurants' Facebook page, because the value proposition for that service is that everybody knows that if you have a inactive Facebook page or a social media page, when people go to that page that are patrons or potentially people that are going to purchase, they don't see any activity, they're going to think you're
active,
right?
Closed.
Closed. So they pay you to post and make it look active. And so if you agree to post 5 times per month and you make those 5 posts, they're going to be happy to continue to pay you, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And so you can feel confident in knowing like, oh, I could probably make those posts. You know what I mean? That experience, that little granular milestone will help you to build confidence. You will have a paying customer. You will have collected money. You will have sent an invoice. You will have received you'll have spoke some of the language. You'll have a client. That is where you start to build your confidence.
From there, the biggest question about that then is, if I were to post, am I supposed to go out there and actually go to their restaurant and take pictures for them, or can I hire someone to do that? Obviously, because if I'm starting off, I'm only charging them $1,000 for 5 posts for social media a month. Am I supposed to physically go out there and take those pictures and and provide the services, or am I just supposed to buy HubSpot or whatever and take a bunch of stock photos off of not Bitly, but Hexel or whatever, and just put them on their webpage?
Yeah, that's a good question. So there are a lot of ways that you can do it. First of all, I think charging $1,000 per month for the social media posting might be a little high. You might want to start with like $399, $299, $499. Something like that. $500 a month is a good price to be posting pretty regularly. Now, there are a lot of things you can do to gather content. They may already have a whole bunch of images, and you can just ask, hey, do you guys have images? Send me a Dropbox link, send me a Google link, and you can use those every other day or 2 times a week, and then you can kind of fill the in-between with stock photos or quotes. What I would do in that, I'm not going to break down the entire science of posting, but you'll want to set a schedule for like the month and make this type of post each day of the month. And it could be like a personalized one where you use one of their images. The other one could be like a motivational thing. Another one could be something funny. Another one could be, and you just kind of map it out for each day of the month and then just hit that every day. And so you might not need a photo every time, but then you could also go there and take some photos just with, if you have a high quality iPhone, you could do it. Or you could be like a contractor and say, hey, I can have somebody come take some photos for this if you want. It costs $500, costs around $500, and then you could bring somebody in for $100 or $200 and then keep a little off the top. A lot of the services that you'll be selling as a sort of boutique agency is you're kind of outsourcing, doing arbitrage, at least in the later levels. In the beginning, you might be doing a lot of the work yourself to learn it, but eventually you don't want to be doing everything yourself.
Yeah, that's how I want it from the very beginning. I don't want to do it all by myself, but the reality is the amount of work, like I'm sure we all know of who we're talking about, but just go out and outsource everything and have everyone else do it while you sit back and make all the money. If you guys think that, I apologize, but it's not reality. Like some people just put it out there. It's like, oh yeah, it's easy, just sit back and make the money, and that's not true. It takes work, it takes hours. I know it's not a lot, but I also have another job, and I put in 8 hours the other day just working just on a script, and man, it took a long time. And if you want it, you can make time for it, and that's pretty much what I've been doing. And I reached out to Nick, and if you guys need help, reach out. There's people out there who know what they're doing, they know what they're talking about, and as you guys can see, he's provided me a lot of value, and I'm just starting up, so just reach out to someone who knows what they're doing.
Well, that outsourcing, that bit about outsourcing is, I think, obviously we all want the end result. We all want somebody else to do it all while we're sleeping so we can make money, right? Yeah. But it's difficult to outsource something that you don't know how to do yourself. Yeah. So, right now you're putting in that work to learn this service, whatever the services are that you're going to sell, so that you can manage somebody to outsource those services.
So basically you can oversee and know if they're doing something wrong or if they're doing something right.
And the other thing is like, yes, we work a lot. I mean, it's whatever, almost 5:30, and here we are still sitting here. I've been in this office for a long time today, and it'll be like that tomorrow, and it's been like that all week, and it's been like that all month. But I have a goal. I have many goals. I have things I want to do and things I want to accomplish. So by doing that and putting in the time, I mean, it's important, but you should also acknowledge the fact that in the education system right now, it's kind of messed up in my opinion in a lot of ways. Some things they're doing right, a lot they're doing wrong in my opinion. And one of them is, teaching you how to memorize stuff for 4 years before you can go out and get a job where you get paid $40,000-$50,000. Yeah, you don't have to memorize anything. Whereas, you can spend a few hours writing a script, memorizing that script, and going and calling somebody or walking into a business tomorrow and reciting it and saying it and get a check for $500 or $1,000 or even $2,000. I mean, you can do it. Like, I've seen it a lot. You're much more likely to do that in a short amount of time than all the other stuff, right? So if you look at my journey as well, I've only been doing internet marketing for 4 years. I'm already making more than like a brain surgeon. Yeah. It's crazy, right? I didn't go to school for that. It's all self-education.
And that's one thing that, since I can remember, I've always wanted to start a business and self-educate myself. And since I found social media marketing and all that stuff, I've just been going head first, especially with this coronavirus. I don't know, I'm sure you can vouch for this, but it's time. People are starting to realize that, hey, social media is a big player in their business. I mean, you can't really deny it anymore if you're a business owner.
Yeah, absolutely. If they're not on social media or online in general, like people that didn't have an online business or some aspect of their business being online, even if it's just having an email list, like when coronavirus hit and you didn't have an email list and your doors had to close and you couldn't speak to your customers, like you were screwed. But the people that had an email list were sending out special offers, updates on, what they could expect from their business, all these things. So people now know more than ever that they need to be online.
Yeah.
So, it's a good point.
I don't know if you answered the question about, you said just a lack of confidence in what it is that you're providing a service.
Yeah.
Because what I'm looking to do is I'm looking to provide Facebook marketing from a couple courses that I'm taking. They say just niche down, like as in the niche that you're taking or you're choosing, and I'm choosing the real estate niche. Yep. First of all, because I'm passionate about it. I don't mind getting into real estate later on in the future. And that's something that I'm interested in.
That's good. And we got a lot of real estate agents here on Maui. We got a lot of real estate agents. I mean, a shitload of real estate agents. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's like just in Honolulu alone, there's like 765 realtors. And that's just realtors. There's also brokers too. Eventually, that's who I plan on getting up to is the brokers. But in the meantime, just gonna you guys have the shark, the goldfish or whatever, and then it's a shark and then a whale, or how does it go?
Oh, the different levels of our membership? Yeah, we've got a membership where we teach people different things at different stages and they advance their different levels. The first level is baby shark. The last level, when you are verified to making 6 figures, is the megalodon shark.
Yeah, because I'm hoping, what's today? Today's the June 30th, and I am in the process of building a machine right now. Like, I'm using ClickFunnels and a couple other programs. I'm building the machine. The reason why I don't have a client right now is because I'm not ready to execute. I'm putting everything into play right now, but I'm just gonna share this with you guys. It's June 30th right now. By August, I plan to have at least 3 clients paying me $3,000 a month, and I'm gonna lock them in for 3 months so I can actually provide them some results, because I learned from the past that, first of all, $1,000 isn't enough for the amount of work that you really have to put in.
Well, you're just saying that you think, $1,000 per month isn't a lot.
It's not
for
worth
you to be able to provide the value that they want, or how much.
Totally not worth it.
I mean, I feel like you were gonna say you'll probably work a lot more than the $1,000 is pretty much worth. Like,
you're gonna sit there and
but that's part of it too, though. Like, you got to be aware of that. In the beginning, I lost my ass on a lot of jobs because I didn't know what I was doing. I wasn't a professional. I maybe requested to be paid like a professional. So you got to keep that in mind. I reversed my thinking at that point and thought, like, well, what if I got paid at least a little bit to learn how to do this? Yeah. And then my thinking was, oh, I'm getting paid to go to school now. It's different, right? You're getting paid to learn. You're getting paid to execute. You're getting paid to try something. Yeah, I mean, you're going to pay somebody that's a professional a lot more, and $2,000, $3,000, all those prices, those are professional prices. And I know a lot of people talk about charging those prices right out of the gate and all that, and you can, but if you have confidence, if you have a difficult time asking for that price, it's because of the confidence thing. It's because you probably do not believe that your service is actually worth that yet. So you should run ads for yourself, for your business, and figure out how those ads are working. The results can be predictable for you. Like right now, if I asked you, if I threw $1,000 at you, what kind of results can I expect? Do you have those numbers?
For what kind of ad?
For my agency, my marketing agency.
Yeah,
I don't have those numbers.
Yeah,
exactly.
Can't give you anything.
But that's fine. It's totally fine. So if you went right now and ran some ads for your agency for a month, and maybe got some leads along the way for yourself, you would have those numbers and feel much more confident about being able to sell me on a $1,000 a month campaign, right? Because it would be.
Well, what kind of numbers are you talking about? Are you talking about the leads and the
leads,
cost per acquisition? And
give me like a cost per lead. Is it $3 per opt-in on a landing page with a lead magnet? Is it $6? Is it $10? Real estate's different, You get all that information by doing, and someone can teach you in a course and tell you so much, and that's good. But you eventually gotta do a little bit. And you said something earlier about you're getting ready to execute, and what you don't want to end up doing is like getting stuck in that cycle of getting ready to get ready. Because then you're always just getting ready, right? Yes. You're never actually executing.
I think another reason why I haven't really executed is because if I do this, I know I'm going to be successful because I'm going to put in the amount of work that I need to do it, but I'm also scared of the success. I don't know if anybody can relate. Money's powerful, and it can change people, and I've heard that stuff.
So lately, I've been much more public about the success and the revenue goals that I've been making, whereas I've actually been doing this for years, a few years now, and having that level of success, but I've never really talked about it, and I never really shared it, and I've always kind of kept that private. It's because generally I'm just a private person, but I got to this point where I started thinking about like what I'm doing. It's exactly this, like this situation that we're having right now. You saw the success that I'm having, and you reached out to me. And that is what I was thinking I was keeping from the general market, the general public. If I sit in this and I don't tell anybody how well I'm doing, then no one's gonna know, and I'm not gonna be able to show anybody what I'm doing or how to do it or teach, right? And I know that I'm educating people how to do what I'm doing. So if that's my goal, is to teach as many people as possible to get to 6 figures, which it is, then I gotta lead by example, right? Although it's very difficult for me to talk about like, I make all this money and blah, 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 like I really don't like being that type of person. So I try to do it in a reserved type of way, like, hey, our launch is doing good, or I'm selling this XYZ, not like I'm going to, Louis Vuitton and buying Rolexes, like $30 watch. All right. So
no watch.
I could go get any watch I wanted, but I just don't want that. I don't need it. Yeah. And don't get me wrong, I love watches. I really do. But the reason I'm coming back to that is when Devin reached out to me, he said, don't you feel guilty for making that amount of money? And I had posted something about making
like 15 grand a month or something. I did the math.
Yeah, I actually shared like my agency clients, like the recurring SEO ad services, not even internet marketing money or anything like that. He said, don't you feel guilty about making that much money? And my response was, I know the world is messed up right now. I feel bad for, people that aren't able to make it. Like that's aside, but no, I don't feel guilty because it is 6 o'clock right now, 5:30. And here I am in my office and all of my friends are out there right now at the beach. Like I consistently work 8, 12 hours a day, 7 days a week for the last few years, constantly working on my dreams while, my friends are out there having fun. So when I have success, do I feel bad and feel guilty about it? No, not really. Do I wish I could help more people have that type of success? 100%. And that's what I'm doing right now. So I hear what you're saying about it being something that could be scary or dangerous. And I assure you, once you have that problem, you will deal with it, and gradually, you'll gradually deal with it. Yeah.
You enjoy your job. That's what I want. I want to enjoy my job. I like my job now, but just like everything, there's some issues that I don't like about it. And that's what kind of drives me to do this. And also because I want a family. Like I'm 25 years old, I've been through a lot in my life, and I just want a family, and I'm doing it for my future wife and my future kids. That's the driving factor behind it. And I've always wanted a business since I was a kid. I don't know, for some reason it's just been a drive. My mom and my dad have always said that I've been motivated and I was a leader and stuff like that. And I've just pretty much noticed that my whole life. I'm in a leadership position now. It's tough. Dealing with people is tough, especially the people that I'm dealing with, you know. It's cool to actually meet Nick and actually hear his success and you enjoy your job. I mean, we got some beautiful beaches out here.
We do.
And the fact that he's in the office, yeah, it might seem like it sucks, but in the reality, if you're doing something that you love and you enjoy and you're helping people, reality is he can probably work a week straight and then give it a month off and go do whatever the heck he wants, because he's built an engine and a type of business that he can do that. And you know, that's the goal.
Probably stop working for a while.
Yeah, dude, the amount of money that he makes in probably a year, he can pay for probably 4 college students. I don't know the amount or anything, but he can pay for their tuition or whatever, you know what I mean, their bills that they have. And you know, I agree with Nick. You can make a lot of money doing this and make more by learning it by self-taught and not having to go to school and do something that you don't like.
But you also said, like, or at least something I just kind of want to circle back to, is that, you know, we started this conversation with you saying that you have like that passion and that burning desire. And I think one of my superpowers that at some point I had been blessed with was exactly that. Like, I had this burning desire to do something different.
Yeah.
Start something new, make something of myself. And I know that I've talked to a lot of people that sort of want it, but don't have that burning desire. You know, Napoleon Hill wrote that book, Think and Grow Rich.
Yeah.
That is a key ingredient that he has identified for, you know, all of the top performers and most successful people in the world that he interviewed. Like, one of the key traits that they all have in common is that burning desire. And that's what's so awesome about being in the industry that we're in, is like, if you have that burning desire, the information is out there.
Yeah.
The information is out there, and now really what's at play for you is to take that information and do something with it, you know? So you can spend this time and invest it in yourself, and I argue that is probably the best investment you could ever make, taking that time to invest in yourself and just furthering your knowledge. Start to take action on this stuff that you're learning, you know, rather than just thinking about the ads and running the ads and all that stuff. Start to do free ads for yourself, for your friends, you know, for anybody that will take it. Maybe they'll take you on as somebody that they'll pay to do ads at some point, you know?
Yeah, I can definitely take that advice, and probably by August I'll be set. I'll have at least something where I feel comfortable. If I got a client, then I would be able to execute, because you said run ads, and if I happen to get someone, then there you go, I have a client. Because if I do good on the ads, obviously I'm going to get a client, right? That's the end goal.
Yeah, that's what I did with SEO. Yeah. I started ranking my own site, and then by learning how to rank my own site, people started coming to me because my site ranks.
And your site's awesome.
Yeah.
I like your site.
Thanks. Appreciate it. Well, cool, dude. I appreciate you coming by and, you know, rapping about this. We should do it again. Let me know, what do you guys think? I think Devin's got some great questions. I think he probably will continue to have great questions. Do you think we should do Q&As like this more often? Let us know in the comments below this video if there's questions or things you guys think that, you know, he should ask me or we can discuss, or whatever thoughts that we can just kind of throw up on the wall and then kind of dissect from his perspective and my perspective, and you know, let us know if it was helpful. So, you know, like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notifications so you know that we are releasing new videos, and I'll see you in the next one.